Hello everybody, welcome to Zebra Studio. My name is Molly and it's good to see you today. Right, before I introduce my title, don't forget to like and to share and to subscribe, right? And comment, okay? Don't forget to comment. Right, what am I going to be talking about today? Well, I'm going to be listing, again, 10 greatest African leaders. So we do have great leaders in Africa and we've had them in the past. Right, I'm so excited to actually give you the list of good African leaders. Perhaps our leaders in 2020 could learn from these guys. There must be something that these guys, these African leaders did that they are not doing. So number one on the list, number one on my list, okay, this is my list. You make up your own, but this one's mine. We've got Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She is actually, she is the 24th, well, she's the current Liberian president, and she's a female, obviously. So this is really good. And she is Africa's first elected female head of state. The reason Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is actually on my list is because she has, well, she's been praised by the people of Liberia for bringing stability back in Liberia after years of civil war. And then on my list, this is my favorite. We've got Samora Machel. Samora Machel is one of the greatest African president leaders. Well, he was a Mozambican president, and he served the country as president from the time Mozambique gained their independence in 1975, and he died in 1986. He was a military commander and a socialist. He was a thoughtful leader. He was a thoughtful leader. So we need thoughtful leaders, okay? Not buying cars, airplanes, Gucci, okay? So we need thoughtful leaders, not the ones who will steal from us, from Africans. Right, this one's my favorite. Samora Machel is my favorite. And his actions and ideas are helping many Mozambicans even today. Well, he died on a plane crash in somewhere in Mozambique, I think, in South Africa. But he's my favorite. On my list, I've got Jomo Kenyatta. He's from Kenya. He was president since they gained independence in 1963. And, well, he brought stability and economic growth to Kenya. And obviously his son, I think, is the president of Kenya right now. Not sure whether his son is doing really good compared to his dad. On my list, I have Thomas Sankara. He is actually one of Africa's favorite leader, one of the greatest leader, and he was quite young when he took into becoming a president in 1983. He took power in 1983, and he was actually 33 years old. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about young leaders in Africa. I'm talking about young, energetic leaders in Africa, not the old ones, okay? I don't have issues with old people. I just have a problem with those who stay in power and don't want to let go, and they want to die there and do nothing. Some can't even hear, some can't even read, some can't even use a computer, but they're presidents in Africa. So I don't know why we have people like that. So Thomas Sankara was praised for his integrity. We're missing that in Africa. Is there any faithful African president? Just show me one, okay? And he was actually praised for integrity and his selflessness. So these are the qualities that Thomas Sankara had. First of all, he was young. Not only was he young, he had integrity and selflessness, okay? And he was assassinated. He was actually killed in 1987. But he was a military captain, and he was one of the Pan-African theorists, and he's an icon. This guy is an icon. He's young. We want young leaders like Thomas Sankara in 2020 upwards, guys. On my list, I have Patrice Lumumba. He is from Congo, and he was the founder of the mainstream national Congolese, which is the MNC party. But he was killed, and he looked young. He looks like a young guy. And I have Julius Nyerere. He's from Tanzania. I think he's a good person. He was a good leader. And out of all the leaders, he actually volunteered to step down in 1985. And that is not common in Africa. Right, guys, Julius Nyerere, president of Tanzania, volunteered to step down, okay, in 1985. How many African leaders, politicians volunteered to step down? I know Nelson Mandela, I think he did. I'm not quite too sure. So we've got Julius Nyerere, and he's one of the greatest African leaders, Julius Nyerere. But now I don't know whether we have people like him. Okay, I really don't know about that. He actually negotiated the Zanzibar and Tanganyika successfully. He did that successfully. He did negotiations for that, and that's why we have Tanzania today. It's because of Julius Nyerere, who actually volunteered to step down in 1985. Guys, when are you going to volunteer? These African presidents, leaders, politicians, old ones, can you guys just volunteer and step down like Julius Nyerere, who he did that in 1985? This is a good example. You know, Julius Nyerere, I think he's one of the best. This is a great leader. He guarded himself against corruption. Okay. I wonder how many African leaders can take an example from Julius Nyerere from Tanzania. And this guy, he guarded himself against corruption, and he was respected by many world leaders of his time. Not only did he step down, volunteer, he also guarded himself from against corruption, and he was respected. Julius Nyerere, the only man in Africa, I think, who volunteered to step down. I did say maybe Nelson Mandela did. Wait, we're coming to Nelson Mandela because he's one of the greatest as well. But yeah, Julius Nyerere, the greatest leader in Africa. Julius Nyerere, I think he's one of the best. This is a great leader. He guarded himself against corruption. Okay. I wonder how many African leaders can take an example from Julius Nyerere from Tanzania. And this guy, he guarded himself against corruption, and he was respected by many world leaders of his time. Not only did he step down, volunteer, he also guarded himself from against corruption, and he was respected. Julius Nyerere, the only man in Africa, I think, who volunteered to step down. I did say maybe Nelson Mandela did. Wait, we're coming to Nelson Mandela because he's one of the greatest as well. But yeah, Julius Nyerere, the greatest leader in my list. I have one of the greatest African leaders, Haile Selassie. Maybe I didn't pronounce him that well, but he was a member of the Solomonic dynasty, I don't know. And he served as an Ethiopian president in 1916 to 1930, and it's an empire as well. Ethiopia had an empire, and he actually played a very significant role in starting the organization African Unity, and his views resulted in Ethiopia's becoming charter member of the United Nations. So he's one of the greatest African leaders. Thumbs up to my list on the greatest African leaders. Guys, I hope you can learn from that. You presidents, you politicians, and those who want to get into politics, you need to learn from these guys. So we've got Alpha Omar Bonera. He served as the president of Mali for 2 terms, 1992 and 2002, and he was a chairperson of the African Union between 2003 and 2008. And he served as the president of ECOWAS in 1999 and UEMOA in 2000. Number 2 on my list is, we've got Kwame Nkrumah. He is from Ghana. He's a Ghanaian, and he was the leader of Ghana and its predecessor state, the Gold Coast, from 1951 to 1966. He was the first prime minister of Ghana, and he founded the Organization of African Unity, and which later became the African Union. I don't know what the African Union is doing right now, guys. I think that time it did a good job. It worked. It did something. I don't know whether if he could wake up now, he would recognize the African Union. He was he was actually outspoken. He was an outspoken advocate of the Pan-Africanism. Last but not least, we have one of the greatest leaders of Africa. We've got Nelson Mandela of South Africa. He is best known for his involvement in South African anti-apartheid movement. And later he served as the president of South Africa from the 10th of May 1994 to the 14th of June 1999. And today he's actually regarded as a symbol of global peace, and he is considered the best leader in the history of Africa. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. Right, that's Nelson Mandela, but that's that list. But out of all these guys, out of all these leaders, politicians, the greatest of them all, my favorite, okay, the best, my opinion, the greatest African leader is Thomas Sankara from Burkina Faso. And he was president, I did say, in 1983 and 1987. And he seized power in 1983 at the age of 33, and in order to eliminate corruption and the dominance of obviously the former French colonial power. Many people call him, I can't pronounce this word, African Che Guevara, and he was a military captain and Pan-African theorist, Marxist revolutionary, and a feminist. And he was an icon for many young Africans in 1980. That is Thomas Sankara. I think he is the greatest African leader and greatest African politician, or whatever you can call him. And even today, he is a hero for many in Burkina Faso, and they praise him for integrity and selflessness as a leader. And this is one of the qualities that is needed in 2020 and from the leaders in Africa now, that they do not have integrity, they do not have selflessness. All the African leaders do not have that. Most of them, well, not all of them, they are not like Thomas Sankara. And he's still the leader. I mean, he's still an icon. He's still a hero to the people of Burkina Faso as we speak today. And tragedy is he was assassinated by an armed group in October the 15th, 1987. But this guy, this is the type of leaders that we need. Leaders like Thomas Sankara are in great demand in Africa, and no shortage. We miss these leaders. Right, tell me what you think. Tell me who's your greatest leader in Africa. Right, don't forget to like and don't forget to share, and also press the button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.